Welcome. We are so happy you are able to join us today for our session at DLF Learns on images as data, processing, exploration, and discovery at scale. While our time together today is asynchronous, we encourage you to connect with us and others via email or social media. I've included two hashtags that I encourage you to use, as well as our emails. We would love to hear from you, especially if you too share our interest in images as data. Before I forget, introductions are in order. My name is Carol Chiodo, and I am the librarian for collections and digital scholarship at Harvard University Library. I'm joined today by two of my teammates on the distant viewing team. Lauren Tilton, Assistant Professor of Digital Humanities in the Department of Rhetoric and Communication Studies and Research Fellow in the Digital Scholarship Lab at the University of Richmond, and Taylor Arnold, Assistant Professor in Statistics in the Department of Mathematics, also at the University of Richmond. So let's get started, shall we? As the demands for collaborative, open scholarship grow, the development of automated discovery tools capable of leveraging machine actionable data latent in library collections will be critical to broadening access in a global knowledge commons. Here, I've provided a brief timeline of some key moments for collections as data in North America, which allows you to trace some of the significant events that have led to our present moment. There are a few key items that I would like to point out here, and that can be helpful to you if you are interested in learning more about collections as data. The first is the Santa Barbara Statement on Collections as Data, which was presented here at the DLF Forum in 2017, and whose principles have had an immense impact on how we think about making collections computationally accessible. The second item on our timeline that I would like to draw your attention to is the 2019 publication of Distant Viewing, Analyzing Large Visual Corpora by Taylor Arnold and Lauren Tilton in the journal Digital Scholarship in the Humanities. Here, Lauren and Taylor establish a methodological and theoretical framework for the study of large collections of visual materials, which they call distant viewing. This approach defines a need for, quote, viewing and makes explicit the interpretive nature of extracting semantic metadata from images. The last item on the timeline that I want to point out to you is a recent publication that was commissioned by LC Labs at the Library of Congress. Written by Ryan Cordell, a faculty member in English at Northeastern University, this report provides a comprehensive overview of the current state of the field of the use of machine learning in libraries. Photographs, with their dual role as documents and pictures, possess a unique persuasive power. Their wide ranging use, from tokens of memory to government records, from social media to scientific findings, from artistic endeavors to forensic evidence, invests them with an authority that crosses many disciplines. Yet the cultural heritage institutions that collect and preserve them, whether they be libraries, museums, historical societies, or art galleries, often work in silos, with the subject matter of a particular collection determining its processing and destination. With born digital collections, these divisions are amplified at scale. As institutions increasingly deal with large collections of born digital images, traditional processing is impractical on both a local and collective level. Another major challenge for archives, museums, and libraries is metadata creation at scale. This challenge has been exacerbated as archives in different institutional settings seek to diversify and decolonize their collections. In order to provide access to collections, many of our mechanisms for search and discovery rely on free-form and faceted search. The ascendancy of freeform natural language search, as popularized by Google, has shaped the search and research patterns currently adopted by many scholars. Generating metadata is expensive, time consuming, and laborious. Assigning keywords, ontologies, and schemas to images requires painstaking processing by catalogers and metadata specialists describing each image. As a result, a collection may be entirely undescribed or not have item level descriptions. There is often a need to redescribe when a collection is described. Furthermore, the kind of descriptive metadata can change with new developments in data, information, or library science, new areas of inquiry among scholars, and changes in audiences. But it is often cost prohibitive to redescribe a collection. Machine based computational methods are opening up new avenues for large scale image analysis and retrieval. The project images as data, processing, exploration, and discovery at scale, provides a model for creating, searching, and assessing data about images on an unprecedented scale. We draw on large photographic collections housed at Harvard University Library and the Harvard Art Museums to do a deep dive on four principal areas. Number one, to demonstrate how computer vision can provide descriptive metadata for born digital and digitized materials at large scale using the Distant Viewing Toolkit, a Python package funded by the National Endowment for the Humanities Digital Humanities Advancement Grant and built by the University of Richmond's Distant Viewing Lab. Number two, to generate visual data for aggregating and analyzing visual patterns across extremely large corpora of retro-digitized and born digital images. And number three, to develop user-driven recommender systems for content-based image retrieval for scholars and a model for image-based search. And finally, number four, to provide a model for how to navigate rights and access with sensitive audio and visual material. This last area is of particular interest, given that the collections we are using are mostly protest photography, thanks to the Born Digital Collection development efforts of the Americas, Europe, and Oceania Division at Widener Library. Well beyond the subject of their protests, these collections provide occasion for reflection and thinking through ethical guidelines on non-maleficence, manipulation, justice, truth-telling, and duties of care. Applying machine learning to visual collections is exciting work, but we see this work extending well beyond the technology to reconfigure the ways that we think about our collections. Looking beyond the technology, we'd like to be able to de-silo the knowledge of our collections gained from the collaboration with the distant viewing team. We hope to develop a community within the library that's aware of the challenges and opportunities afforded by machine learning for all of our areas of expertise and workflows. And finally, like to be in the position to provide ethical guidance and implementation recommendations that are grounded in the knowledge and experience of this project and that will contribute meaningfully to the collection's access and discovery. We hope you find this work as compelling as we do. Please feel free to reach out to learn more. Thank you.